stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. This simple little quote travels throughout schools and playgrounds everywhere across America. Anyone who believes this has obviously never been called the name. Violence in schools has evolved into a large problem in our country and needs to be taken care of. After all of the research, experts are still puzzled as to why our education system consists of so much violence. But it really all boils down to one simple cause: words. I've researched the following sources in order to help you better understand my presentation. A book by Scott Barber, an article from CNN, an article by Robert D. Ramsey, Violence in Schools Statistics from Youth Violence Project, an interview from a current high school student, Emily Osborne, an article from USA Today, and an article from School Shootings. I'm going to talk about violence in schools using three main points to convey my ideas across: past occurrences of violence, bullying in schools, and how to prevent violence in schools in the future. School violence has occurred everywhere around America. In the past decade, America has witnessed a string of shootings in its schools. There is not one specific spot that contains more occurrences than another. People try to overlook the serious incidences where violence has infected schools, but it's hard to look past it all. From July 1st, 1999 through June 30th, 2000, there were 32 school-associated violent deaths in the United States. Americans try to overlook this recurring problem, but one cannot ignore the statistics. 7 to 8% of high school students have been threatened or injured with a weapon on school property. The same study revealed that 18% have been threatened with a beating, 13% have been attacked with a weapon, and 11% have experienced at least one act of violence at school, including being robbed or threatened with a gun. The deadliest and most well-known of these tragedies occurred at Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado. On April 20th, 1999, two students, Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris, went on a school shooting rampage, killing 12 students and one teacher, wounding 23 others, and finally finishing with killing themselves. This was the largest high school shooting to ever occur in America, and it really opened the eyes of everyone who were unaware of this serious problem. Although it is by far the largest example of violence in schools in our country, Columbine was not the only occurrence. On March 5th, 2001, in Santee, California, a 9th grade student killed two fellow students and wounded at least 13 others in Santana High School. The student was described as a kid that was picked on a lot. Yet another school shooting occurred on September 24, 2003 at Rocori High School in Cold Spring, Minnesota. 15-year-old John Jason McLaughlin murdered two of his fellow classmates who he believed to be making fun of him. Today, our society refuses to admit to this problem that is occurring in our school system, but it exists nonetheless. There are many different opinions on how school violence begins and what causes it to blow so out of proportion. Most experts believe that the leading cause of violence in schools is bullying. Bullying involves the tormenting of others through verbal harassment, physical assault, or other more subtle methods of coercion such as manipulation. Bullying is a damaging social problem that needs additional attention to be abolished. Besides physical force, the most common types of bullying include written, spoken or implied threats, name-calling or racial slurs, vandalism, put-downs, dirty tricks or sabotage of work projects, teasing, hazing, mocking, heckling, and stalking. A child's preferred style of bullying varies with age, education, occupation, cultural heritage, and even sex. The effects of bullying can be serious and even fatal. Statistics show that bullying within schools has increased within the past couple of years. It is a serious problem that needs to be dealt with immediately in our school system. However, if our country plans on doing away with bullying completely, it needs to first understand exactly what bullying is and how it happens. In schools, bullying usually occurs in areas with minimal or no adult supervision. I interviewed a current high school student, Emily Osborne, and asked her if she ever witnessed a student being bullied at school. She said that she had, and that it had been in a gym class when the coaches stepped out of the gym and left the students unattended. Robert Ramsey wrote that many of the children behind these shootings claimed that they were victims of bullying and that they resorted to violence only after the school administration repeatedly failed to intervene. The social settings and supervision at school have been shown to play a major part in the severity of bullying problems. While teachers and administrators do not have control over individual and family factors, which produce children who are inclined to bully, bullying problems can be greatly reduced by appropriate supervision, intervention, and climate in a school. Bullying is a serious problem that can dramatically affect the ability of students to progress academically and socially. A comprehensive intervention plan that involves all students, parents, and school staff is required to ensure that students can learn in a safe and fear-free environment. Many argue that there is no real way to prevent bullying. Kids will be kids, and that's all there is to it. But because of the incredibly negative effects that have recently been found to occur to the victims of bullying, there has been an active effort to limit bullying. The solutions are easy ones and easy to practice. Kids can make bullying seem unappealing. Oftentimes, students fall victim to the bystander effect, simply letting the bullying occur. But it has been found that if students take an active resistance when they see a fellow classmate being bullied, the bully is less likely to act out in this way. By simply telling the bully that what they are doing is not right, a bully will often cease their actions because the cause of their bullying is many times a search for social acceptance. With these facts in mind, kids can help combat the problem of bullying. Bullying, however, is not the only cause of violence in schools. Gun control, violence in the media, parental involvement in children's lives, and lack of religious and moral values at home play a big role in what goes on while children are learning at school, according to Ramsey. There are issues of socioeconomic status, location, and overall quality of living that must go into decisions on how to deal with the violence problem in any given school. Gun control, security, and policies in American school systems have been working to become stricter to keep young people from getting access to deadly weapons. Since 1994, America has been going by the law that Congress passed, the Gun-Free Schools Act, bringing zero-tolerance school policies to a national level. This law requires states that receive federal funds to expel any student who brings a weapon to school for at least 1 calendar year. It also changes the term firearm to weapon, and it extended the expulsion requirement to students who possess a weapon at school, even if they did not bring it there. School violence isn't easy to understand. There is no single reason why students become violent. There is one thing that experts do agree on, however, and that is that violence is present in schools as a result of bullying, but there are ways that it can be prevented. The percentage of students who reported being afraid of being attacked at school or on the way to school decreased from 12% in 1995 to 6% in 2001. This is a promising statistic in the eyes of American citizens because it means that our country is making progress with all of the different programs and methods designed for preventing violence in schools. Although percentages of fear have dropped over the years, one can never be satisfied when a person's life is at stake. It is up to the school boards and administrations to devise ways to prevent violence in schools from ever happening again, because one death as a result of this recurring problem is one death too many. Thank you.